So today we are reading from Letter to Kirtiraj, Bombay, 2 January 1972. My dear Kirtiraj Das, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated December 23, 1971. Regarding the list of my godbrothers, you do not any longer need to send them issues of BTG or other books. That we will do from here in India. Similarly, whenever you get requests for BTG subscriptions or other literature, you can forward these requests to Bombay ISKCON to the secretary and he will deal with the request. You do not need to approach Gaudiya Math for films or photos of my Guru Maharaj. I do not think they have such films. Whatever photos we now have already of Guru Maharaj can be used. Neither is it necessary to send the Indian Life members circulars, since this will be very costly and they are not very much interested in our circulars. I thank you very much for taking so seriously to helping me fulfill the order of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati to distribute Krishna consciousness literature to the whole world masses. What strength our movement has now got is due in large part to the enthusiasm we have had to distribute our literatures profusely throughout the world. I have got very encouraging reports how my books are being distributed vigorously in San Francisco and Los Angeles. Our New York temple has got the most devotees, so rightfully they should also lead our society in book distribution. You have got a very important duty to see that all the branches are kept with a full stock of all my books. And I know that we are getting many mail orders daily. So you must see that these orders are all filled promptly. If we take the public's money and then delay too long in fulfilling the orders, this will give us a bad reputation. So be very conscientious and hardworking, and Krishna will give you the ability to do everything nicely. There is no difference between chanting Hare Krishna or Sankirtan and doing one's assigned work in Krishna consciousness. Sometimes we have to do so much managerial or office work, but Lord Chaitanya promises us that because in the Kali Yuga, this is required for carrying on our preaching mission, he gives assurance that we will not become entangled by such work. When the work has to be done, do it first, then chant. But you must fulfill at least 16 rounds daily. So if necessary, sleep less, but you have to finish your minimum number of rounds. Regarding Mr. Coleman, the matter is very simple. If he says he will do whatever I ask, then let him give us the rights. Then only shall I understand that he has got some feelings for me. We cannot pay him any money. The difference between competition and Maya. Here, competition is for sense gratification, how much I can enjoy my sense, and the other person sees how much he can enjoy his senses. In the spiritual world, the competition is how to satisfy Krishna. There, the center is one. If you draw innumerable circles, they will not overlap. But here, the circles will overlap. Even a small circle can overlap a large circle. This is because in the material world, there are many centers, whereas in the spiritual world, there is only one center. In the spiritual world, whether the circles are big or small, they will never overlap. In the spiritual world, similarly, whatever or whoever is rendering the service, there is never competition of maliciousness. I hope this finds you in good health. Your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Ramlila Prabhu. Oh, Maharaj is there. Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Letter to Radha Vallabh, Bombay, 6 January 1972. My dear Radha Vallabh Das, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge the receipt of your first and second copies of your letter dated December 18th, 1971, which were sent to Bombay and Maharashtra respectively. I am very glad to know that you are seriously taking to Srimati Tulsi Devi worship. Tulsi Devi is a pure devotee of Krishna, and she should be treated with the same respect given to all Krishna's pure devotees. Simply by worshipping her faithfully, a devotee can get himself free from all material miseries. In the Nectar of Devotion, I have given 2 verses from the Skanda Purana, one of which is Tulsi is auspicious in all aspects. Simply by seeing, simply by touching, simply by remembering, simply by praying to, simply by going down before, going before, simply by hearing about, and simply by sowing the tree, there is always auspiciousness. Anyone who comes in touch with the Tulsi tree in the above mentioned ways lives eternally in the Vaikuntha world. So from this verse, we can understand how pure is this service which Tulsi offers to Sri Krishna. So we should always endeavor after becoming servant of Tulsi. I do not know who has taught you that part of a Tulsi plant may be cut off and then replanted. From the Tulsi plant, you can cut off many leaves for offering them to Krishna, never for cutting and planting. That is an offense. The manjari's seed can be offered in water and makes the water fragrant and tasteful. And the manjaris can be planted for growing new tulsi plants. Yes, the prayer you have enclosed is bona fide. Tulsi Devi never goes back to Godhead. She is always with Godhead. She is a pure devotee and thus she has appeared on this planet to render service to Krishna by being offered to all temples throughout the world, by being offered up to the lotus feet of Krishna. Chanting Japa should be done early in the morning with full concentration, preferably during the Brahma Muhurta time. Concentrate fully on the sound vibration of the mantra, pronouncing each name distinctly, and gradually your speed in chanting will increase naturally. Do not worry so much about chanting fast. Most important is the hearing. A devotee should always be grave and silent, which means that he only discusses topics relating to Krishna consciousness. Yes, spend your time chanting and reading and taking prasadam, and automatically your tongue will become under control. If you sincerely engage 24 hours daily in devotional service, according to the instructions of the spiritual master, chant daily 16 rounds, attend the Arati ceremony of Lord Krishna, associate with the devotees, and adhere strictly to the regulative principles. Then Krishna will reveal himself personally to you. I hope this leaves you in good health. Your Elisha, AC Bhaktivedanta Swami. Okay, Ram.
Ravi Sundartams. Letter to Govind, Madras, 12th February 1972. My dear Govind Dasi, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letters dated January 16 and January 23, 1972. And it is with great pleasure that I remember you and your good husband by reading them and seeing the nice work you are doing in the new Navdeep news and other pamphlets. I am very sorry to hear about your demoniac neighbor cutting down many tulasi plants, but do not worry, he shall get his due punishment in time. Rest assured. Simply go on in the normal way, and gradually his threat will disappear. Such men should be taken and beaten very hard with shoes, but it will not be very much to our credit if we are accused of fighting in this way. But if that man is caught trespassing on on our property, then he may be severely punished by us. You can put up barbed wire fence around the tulasi plants if that will help, or somehow or other protect them from further danger. Our experience has been that if we ignore them, such demonic class of men, they will go away. When I shall come there, you can make extensive preparation for my speaking, etc., by advertising and propaganda, even more than this Chinmayananda Swami. My work is to preach, so you can prepare many very nice speaking engagement, especially to the intelligent class of men and the hippies. I am especially appreciating the writings of Sid Swarup in the New Navdeep News and open letter pamphlets like Die Hippie Die. And this article should be published in our Back to Godhead magazine and distributed very widely. Regarding the Panchatattva deities, the pictures you have sent are very nice because they live in Bengal. Dhoti, shirt, and chadar are the standard dress. And if they are dressed in this style with different colors, that is nice. They should normally always be dressed in dhoti, but if occasionally you dress them in skirt dress outfit, that can also be. They may all five they may all five wear jewelry. Why not? Doctors give medicine and they speak surety, but there is no surety. And when there is no surety, why should we break our four basic principles? I don't think there is guarantee of surety by taking this medicine with animal products. But if there is surety, you can take. But it is very doubtful. When I shall come there, I shall see what is wrong. Regarding that man, Chinmayananda, he is a sinful man. I know him, at least sinful according to our four principles. He has been lecturing for 20 years. Still, his ashram stands vacant, unless one's life is made up to what this lecturing will do. So far, your other letter, devotion does not depend on the body, and in spite of all difficulties, we can chant. So long we have got the tongue, and even we have got no tongue, we can chant in our mind. So, where is the question of not serving with devotion? On the contrary, I consider that you and your good husband, Gaur Sundar, are two of my topmost disciples, and the work you are doing greatly encourages and pleases me. Therefore, do not think that because You are sometimes sick or weak, that you are not making any advancement, and that you are disappointing me. No, I am always thinking upon you both, that Krishna will give you his all blessings. Simply, if you are able always to chant Hare Krishna, that is the same as following all other regulative principles. I shall be very glad to see you both again, but my program shall be delayed for about 1 month, as I have just purchased for a very good price one large 20,000 square yard plot in Juhu, the wealthiest and most beautiful section of Bombay, very much like your Hawaii. And in the month of March, I shall be lecturing there on the site in our pandal in order to supervise the construction of our first Hare Krishna city. I shall inform you more when we next meet. Hope this will meet you both in good health and cheerful mood. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami.
Amritaji Gorbu.
Letter to Toshan, Calcutta, 20 February 1972. My dear Toshan, please accept my blessings. I am in due receipt of your letter dated January 4 and I have noted the contents. I am glad to hear that you are always keeping engaged in Krishna's service and chanting Hare Krishna. As you chant, try to hear each word very carefully and always complete your 16 rounds. Regular and attentive chanting, along with following the four regulative principles, will keep one pure. Simply by following these principles and chanting Hare Krishna, one can make his life successful and perfect. So far, your two lost beads are concerned, you can simply add two more beads. And because I have already chanted on all the others, they will be sanctified also. Hope this meets you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, should I read? Maharaj? Okay. Letter to Mohanananda, Mayapur, 27 February 1972. My dear Mohanananda, I beg to acknowledge your letter undated, and I am answering your questions as follows. You inquire why, if the devotee is struggling very hard to be free of the clutches of Maya, then how can he not be interested in such liberation? That is a contradiction. The devotee is not interested in liberation but in serving. As such, the devotee is always liberated, already liberated. So liberation is not very important business. It doesn't matter if he is liberated or non-liberated. The idea is that nobody should serve Krishna with motive, even up to liberation. He should serve for service sake. Liberation from Maya means engaging himself in the service of the Lord. So one should strive to become a servant of the Supreme. And in that position, he is automatically liberated and free from the clutches of Maya. So when it is said that one should strive to be free from the clutches of Maya, it is simply another way of saying one should strive to be a servant of the Lord. Not that being free from Maya is the goal of striving, but that the serving is the goal of striving. Liberation is the constitutional position of the living entity, and that constitutional position is that The Lord is great and the living entity is subordinate and servant of the Lord. So one should try to extricate himself from the clutches of Maya in order to regain his healthy, normal condition as the servant of Krishna, not just to get himself liberated. But once in this service, he is liberated already. Try to understand. Your second question. Isn't the fact that we say that one should give up the cultivation of knowledge in conflict with the first 6 chapters of Gita, which deal with the cultivation of knowledge? The first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, this knowledge is to understand Krishna. Other so-called cultivation of knowledge, as practiced by the Mayavadis and Gyanis, means how to become one with the Supreme. That kind of cultivation of knowledge is prohibited. Cultivation of knowledge to understand Krishna as he is, that is called bhakti. Generally, Mayavadis means by knowledge how to become one with the Lord. That is to be avoided. Your third question. What is the explanation of split personality? Actually, there are not two personalities. There is only change of mind. Therefore, the mind has to be fixed up in Krishna. Then there is no more extreme change in the mind from one personality to another. There is always only one personality. It is just that if the mind is very disturbed, it may change in extreme way. If such person is devotee, best remedy is to sit down very tightly and chant Hare Krishna very loudly and hear for a long time until he feels himself one-minded and fixed on Krishna's lotus feet. So far, you being philosophically minded, that I can see and appreciate, but in future, I think you can ask any questions you may have in these matters to one of the Swamis or to your GBC man. I have given them the answers to all such questions, so they can help you. I am an old man now, and my interests are turning to philosophy and translation. If you help me by relieving me from this administrative work, that will free me to give you so many more fine books from Vedic literature and from our own devotional line. So kindly assist me in this way. Actually, if you simply serve in a surrendered attitude and go on chanting regularly, the answer to everything will come out automatically. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. 10 chapter 10 verse. You say that your wife is an emotional sentimentalist and that this is causing you some anxiety. But you have taken her as your wife, and by our Vedic standards, you are responsible for her spiritual advancement. So you must make the attempt to assist her in becoming Krishna conscious very seriously. That is your responsibility. If, however, after much trying and serious attempts, you are still unable to help her, then leave her aside. One should be interested in his own individual self. One should not be interested with others if they hinder his service unduly. But you have married her and there is no question of separation. You may live from time to time separately, but at least you must try very hard to help her perfect her spiritual life. Your idea to go from town to town throughout the state is a good proposition. Now do it, and Krishna will give you all assistance if you are sincere devotee. Hope this will meet you in good health and happy mood. Your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami.
Okay. Should we stop here today? So we can stop now today. And it's so nice, so nice points today. Prabhupada की जय। शायद गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदी।